1-0. Taribo returns it with his right foot.
Point.
That's a point to Taribo there.
First
The
service.
score is at 1-1.
Serve.
Senzo serving. That
Point.
was a beautiful return from Taribo. Unfortunately, it hit the net,
First
and
service.
that's a point. To
Serve.
score is at 2-1. Senzo serves. Lovely smash from Mr. Bembe right
Point.
there, and that gets him a
Change
point.
of service.
Score is at 2-2. Now, just a reminder that today is actually round
First
4,
service.
and we are doing singles on
Serve.
this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Taribo serving with his smash right there. Senzo is able to control it and returns it beautifully with his head. Lovely job from... Oh, Senzo
Point.
misses it there. Misses the
service.
table. And that's a point
Serve.
to Taribo. Score is at 3-2. Taribo serves with a smash.
Service put out.
Unfortunately,
Second
it
attempt.
does not hit the table. He has
Serve.
a second attempt. He serves again with his head.
Point.
Senzo unable to get
Service.
the table there with his head return, and
Serve.
that loses him a point. Taribo serving. Lovely
Point.
smash. Lovely smash from Taribo there.
First
Point
service.
to him. Score is at
Serve.
4-2 if I'm not mistaken. It's at 5-2 actually.
Fault.
Taribo leading.
Net serve. Second
That's
attempt.
his fault. He has a second
Serve.
attempt, and he serves with his head. Senzo returns with his head beautifully. Oh, lovely return from Mr.
Point.
Pembe. That
Change
is a
of
point to
service.
him. The score is at 6-2, and we change a service. Senzo is going to serve this time.
First
Now,
service.
viewers at home, Senzo is
Serve.
the one in the orange stripes, and Taribo Bembe is in his blue stripes. And as he returns the ball with his head, Senzo returns with
Edge
his
ball.
right foot.
Repeat
Ref
the rally.
calls an edge ball.
First
And of
service.
course, an edge ball in
Serve.
between a rally. We have to repeat the rally. Senzo serves with his head.
Point.
Misses the table there, Mr. Bembe, and
First
that's
service.
a point to Senzo.
Serve.
Senzo serving with his head. And
Service
misses
fault
the
out.
table.
Second attempt.
He has a second
Serve.
attempt. He serves with his knee this time. Taribo this attempting a smash. Unfortunately, that didn't work out
First
well for
service.
him, and that is a point to
Serve.
Senzo. Score is at 6-3. 6-4. My bad. Lovely return from Mr. Bembe. Lovely head return from Senzo, and of
Point.
course Taribo unable to return that one, and it's a point to Senzo. The
First
score
service.
is at 6-5.
Serve.
Let's take a look at that return again.
Fault.
Beautiful
Net serve.
return from Taribo.
Second
And
attempt.
there's that head smash from Senzo.
Serve.
Beautiful head smash from Senzo. And Taribo just was not able to return that one. There we see
Edge ball.
the ref calling that an edge ball.
Repeat the rally.
The rally is repeated, of course.
First
Serve.
serve.
He serves with his head.
Service
Does not
fault
hit
out.
the table.
Second attempt.
He has another
Serve.
attempt. He serves with his knee. Lovely head return. Ooh, Senzo there,
Point.
just hesitating to hit the ball,
Change
and
of service.
his side of the table, and that is a point to Taribo.
First service.
And that's a change of service. Score is at
Service fault
7-5.
out.
Taribo leading
Second attempt.
this set. He has a second attempt.
Serve.
He serves with his head, and it hits the table beautifully. Senzo returns head. Oh, just unable
Point.
to get that ball over with his right foot.
First
You can see he's a
service.
little bit frustrated with with that
Serve.
attempt right there. Taribo
Service
serving
fault
with his
out.
famous smash
Second.
that did not hit the table. The score is at 8-5.
Serve.
He serves with his head. Lovely return. Lovely head smash. Beautiful head smash from Senzo. Lovely head smash from
Point.
Senzo. I'm loving the way that he's using these smashes to date. Something that he has been trying
The
out, I'm
service.
assuming, because it's something new that he's been
Serve.
doing. He hasn't been doing head smashes he had not been doing them last week,
Point.
but he's doing them this week, and they are working for him, as you can
The
see
service.
from the slow motion. Beautiful smash from
Serve.
Senzo. Taribo's serving,
Service fault out.
and that is a fault.
Second
He has
attempt.
a second attempt. The score is at 9-6. Taribo is leading this
Serve.
set. He serves with his head. That is a point to
Change of
Taribo.
service.
Of course, that is a change of service. Score is at 10-6.
First service.
It's
Serve.
Senzo's turn to serve. He serves with his head.
Service fault
Does
out.
not hit the table.
Second
Of course,
attempt.
He has a second
Serve.
attempt. He attempts with the head again. This time it hits the table. Lovely, lovely return
Point.
from Taribo there with
Match
his leg.
point.
And of course that gives him a point. The score
First
is at
service.
11-6.
Serve.
Taribo just needing one more point to actually win the set. And he jumps with that. Oh, beautiful.
Points.
And he
Okay.
wins this set 12-6.
It's right.
That is one set. We're about to go on to the second set. Of course, we
I'll
have
give you
just
1
a
minute
minute
in between.
in between sets. As you know, there, Senzo just making sure that he gets a little bit of warm-up time in between that minute. So does Taribo there. As you can see on your screens, they're actually warming up. It's a beautiful day. It is on a Saturday afternoon. It's Singles Day. Let's take a look at that jump from Taribo that that did gain him a point, because Senzo was just not able to get the table that time around. So viewer at home, just to remind you, this is the first semi-final of the day between Senzo Mnisi and Taribo Bembe on your in the semis. Last week they faced Taribo serving first.
Fault.
He hits the net with that smash attempt.
Second attempt.
Of course, he has a second attempt.
Serve.
He serves with his head. It hits the table. Senzo, lovely head return from him.
Point.
Those head returns are working beautifully for Senzo. That gains him a point. Of course, the score is at 1-0. This is the second set. Taribo is leading. He won the first set, so he's leading this game 1-0.
Serve.
He serves with a smash, and it hits the table. Senzo is able to control it and returns it beautifully with his head. Oh!
Point.
Taribo's head smash just could
First
not get
service.
the table right there. It hits the net, and that is a point to Senzo. Score is at 2-0. Let's take a look
Service
at
fault,
the serve
two
again.
shots.
Smash.
Second attempt.
And of course, Senzo controlled that beautifully, and that head return was just amazing. Taribo attempting to smash with his head, but it just could not hit Senzo's side of the table. Let's take a look at his return. Lovely return with his right foot right there, and that's a point. The score is at 2-1. Senzo is leading this set. Taribo serves with his smash.
Service
It
fault
does
out.
not hit the
Second
table.
attempt.
He of course has a second attempt.
Serve.
Serves with his head. And Senzo's return with his left knee misses the table. The score is at 2-2. We change service. Senzo to serve.
Fault. Net serve. Second attempt. Serve.
He has a second attempt. Serving with his knee. Taribo smashes with his head. And Senzo is unable to return that one. That is a point to Taribo Bembe.
Serve.
Senzo serving with his head.
Service
He
fault
misses
out.
the table.
Second attempt.
Let's see him if he can try and get this. Yes, he does. He gets it onto the table. And
Point.
Taribo's head smash gains him a point. A beautiful
First
head
service.
smash that was, of course. Score is at
This
4-2.
ball.
Let's take a look at that return from Taribo. Beautiful head smash from him. Just take a look at that. Wow, that is just so lovely. Senzo was just left with
First service.
nothing else to do
Serve.
there. He serves with his head. Taribo smashes. Ooh. Ow.
Point.
Senzo controlled that, but he just he missed it, I guess, and it just
First
didn't
service.
work out for him.
Serve.
Let's take a look at that. Beautiful smash. You can see
Change
that
for
Senzo,
service.
he actually did control it, but was just not able to get that third touch
First service.
perfectly onto the table.
Serve.
Taribo serving with a smash.
Service
Does
fault
not hit
out.
the table. The score is at
Second
5-3. Taribo Bembe leading this set.
Serve.
He serves with his head this time. And
Point.
he actually does hit the table, but Senzo is unable
service.
to control that one. It's a point to Taribo.
Serve.
The score is at 6-3. Taribo serving
Fault.
with smash.
Let's serve.
Unfortunately,
Second
he hits
attempt.
the net.
Oh. Serve.
Taribo serving with his head. It hits the table beautifully. Senzo returns with his head. Look at that smash. Look at that smash, and Senzo is able to return that. I'm loving how Senzo is able to return these smashes from Taribo. Just take a look at that beautiful return from Senzo. Lovely. Oh, just
Point.
missing that table that time. It hit the net. Beautiful play from Senzo. Lovely, lovely play from him.
The service. Serve.
Let's take a look at that. Look
Service
at that
fault
smash, and
out.
Senzo is controlling those smashes. Look at that.
Second
And then he
attempt.
just returns it with his knee,
Serve.
and Taribo smashes with his head. And of course, Senzo returns
Edge
that
ball.
one,
Repeat the
and
run.
just hits the net.
The
And
service.
it's a point to Taribo.
Serve. Fault. Let's
Taribo
serve.
serving
Second
with his
attempt.
smash. It hits the net.
Serve.
He serves with his head. Senzo returning with... He's attempting a smash there, but unfortunately, Senzo was able to read that, and Senzo returning with his shoulder. That
Point.
is a point to Senzo. Taribo misses the table. Senzo's side of the table.
First service. Serve.
Let's take a look at that shoulder return from
Service
Senzo.
fault out. Second attempt.
And that smash from Taribo that actually didn't work well for him. It hit the net.
Serve.
Taribo serving with his head. Score is at 7-4. Taribo Bembe leading the set. And he misses another
Point.
point. Score is at 7-5 now. We
Change
change
of
service.
service.
It's Senzo's turn to serve.
First service. Serve.
Senzo serves.
Fault.
And it hits the
Let's
net.
serve. Second attempt.
He has a second attempt.
Serve.
And he hits the table beautifully with his knee serve. Taribo returns with his head. He attempts a smash,
ball.
and that is an
Repeat
edge
the
ball
rally.
from the ref.
The service.
We repeat this
Serve.
rally. Senzo serves beautifully with his head. Taribo returns it with his head beautifully. And he returns it again with his...
Fault. Double
that
touch.
was a double touch,
Point.
and the ref saw it. That was a double touch from Senzo. Of course,
First
he
service.
touched it twice with his right
Serve.
foot. In Teqball, you do not use the same body part twice in a row.
Point.
A point to Senzo. Score is
service.
at 8-6. Taribo leading
Serve.
the set, and of course, he's leading this match.
Service fault out. Second attempt. Serve.
Senzo serving again with his head, and it hits the table beautifully. Taribo returns with his head. Oh, Senzo
Point.
missing it there. His head returned missing the table.
First service.
And it's a point to Taribo.
Serve.
The score is at 9-6. Let's take a look at that smash. Beautiful smash from Taribo.
Point.
Senzo
Change
just
of
returning
service.
it, and it just missed the table right there.
First service. Serve.
Taribo now serving.
Service
Just
fault
hit the
out.
table. He
Second
has a second
attempt.
attempt. The score is at 9-7. Taribo leading the set.
Serve.
Oh,
Point.
Senzo missing that with his. I think he wanted
First
to return
service.
it with his right knee.
Serve.
Taribo serving with the smash,
Fault.
and it hit
Net
the
serve.
net.
Second
Of
attempt.
course, he has a second attempt.
Serve.
He serves with his head, and he serves beautifully onto the table.
Point.
And he gets that point with that beautiful
Match
return
point.
with his right foot.
First service.
The score is at 11-7. He just needs
Serve.
one more point to actually win this match and
Fault.
advance on to
Net
the
serve.
final.
Second attempt.
He misses that serve there.
Serve.
He serves again,
Double fault.
and that's a
Point.
double fault. He missed both his
service.
serves, and that is a point to
Serve.
Senzo. Score is at 11-8.
Service fault.
That is a fault
Out.
from Taribo.
Second attempt.
He's attempting smashes. He's just
Serve.
got one more point to actually win this. He serves with his head. It hits the table. Senzo returns with his head.
Point.
The ref calls a fault. The assistant referee calls a fault. And as you can tell, referees are actually right now talking to each other about that and actually contemplating on what decision to make. The assistant ref saw something else. The main ref saw something else. There is Senzo right there on your screens.
Repeat the rally.
He's so sweaty. It's a very hot day, but he's looking really relaxed. He's looking really relaxed. He's had a beautiful day today. There's Taribo Bembe on your screens in the blue, leading actually this match, and he's leading this set
Literally.
as well. He's
The
leading
service.
set 11-8.
Serve.
Taribo serving with his right foot, and that
Point.
is game. The score is
Game.
12-8. Taribo
Winner.
Bembe is advancing on
Taribo
to
Bembe.
onto the finals. We will take just a bit of a short break, and we will be right back with the second semi-final of the day. Let's take a look at that smash that actually won Taribo this game.
Congratulations,
Senzo had nothing right there. We'll be right back. We'll see you. Well, we will be with you just after
Please
this.
approach the court. Jabiso Rio.
Vuka uvakashe yati live lakho kabanti imbukeli. There's so much to learn and see in the kingdom of Eswatini. Sifuna futhi sikhuthaza kona ukuthi nawe wati live lakho kabanti nalokuhle lokwendekako lapha evenini la kaNgwane. Namambalo uyabona mbukeli ukuthi indalo is a beautiful thing. Ubukhulu baNkulunkulu buyabonakala ngendalo.
license quickly and easily with MTN Momo. Simply dial *007 *3 hash and select option 8 for TV license. Enter your national ID number as your reference and the amount you wish to pay. Then enter your PIN to confirm your payment. Once your payment has been made, you'll receive a confirmation SMS of your payment. If you're a first-time payer, you get another SMS for your TV license. So legalize your entertainment from the comfort of your home. Pay your TV license the easy and convenient way with MTN Momo.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Gigi's a movie star I haven't seen in my life. I can't really say, hello everyone, this is who I am. But let's go. You want a piece of me? Yeah, you know you wanna be like power bungo with the boom boom pow. You ain't on my swag radar.
Welcome back to this beautiful Saturday afternoon live on Eswatini TV. This is the round 4 of the Eswatini National Challenger Series, and on your screens right now we have just begun the second semi-final of the day between Rio Matsenjwa in the lime stripes and of course Njabuliso Simelane in the grey stripes. Rio returning it there with his left his right knee, and that actually gains him a point. There he is serving. He misses his serve. He has a second attempt. Of course, let's see if he can get it on the table. He serves beautifully on the table. Njabuliso returning it with his head. Unfortunately, it does not hit Rio's side of the table. That's a point to Rio. Rio serving with his head. Njabuliso returning it with his right foot. Unfortunately, his returns just not getting onto the table. Rio serving with his head. Njabuliso's returns not working out for him today. The score is at 4-0. We change service. Anything can happen in Teqball. Njabuliso might just get all his 4 points with his serves. He serves beautifully with his right foot. Rio returning it with his head. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit his Njabuliso's side of the table. Njabuliso serving with his right foot again. Unfortunately, this time it doesn't work for him. He has a second attempt. He serves with his head. It hits the table beautifully. Rio returning it with his right foot. And it does not. He returns it with his head. It just does not hit Njabuliso's side of the table, and that is a point to Njabuliso. There he is on your screens. He's serving. He serves with his right foot, and he serves lovely. Rio's return with his head. Just couldn't get it right onto the table. Score is at 4-3. Rio is leading the set.
Service
Jabliso
false.
serving with his right
Out.
foot. It misses the
Second
table.
attempt.
He has a second
Serve.
attempt. He serves with his head. Rio returning it with his right foot. Returning it with his head this time. Jabliso with his right foot. Rio with his right knee. And his right foot. This is a beautiful rally. Jabliso returning it with his... Ooh!
Point.
And Jabliso misses
Change of
that
service.
with his head. Score is at 5-3.
For service.
Look at that
Yep.
return from Rio with his right knee. And Jabliso just was not able to control it with his
Point.
head.
For service.
Rio serving
Serve.
with his head. Score is at 6-3. Rio is leading the set.
Point.
And of course he gets another point. That's the score at 7.
For service.
Jabliso not able to control that.
Serve.
Turn it well with his head.
Point.
Lovely serve from Rio. Jabliso was not able to control that
For
one.
service.
Rio serves
Serve.
with his head. That
Service false.
misses the
Out.
table. He has
Second
another
attempt.
attempt, of course.
Serve.
He serves with his head again, and it hits the table beautifully. Jabliso's returning it with his right leg. Rio returning it with
Fault.
his
Repeated return.
fault from the ref.
Point. Change of service.
The score is at 9-3. We change service. Rio is leading this set. There he is on your
Service.
screens right now. Jabliso to serve.
Serve.
He attempts a
Service
smash.
fault.
It hits
Net
the
serve.
net.
Second attempt.
He has a second attempt.
Serve.
He serves with his head. Rio with his right foot. Jabliso with his head. Rio. Ooh,
Point.
Jabliso was just not able to control that with his right foot. He looks
For service.
so defeated there at the moment.
Serve.
That
Service
return
fault.
from Rio, as you
Out.
can see, Jabliso just could not
Second attempt.
control that with his leg and
Serve.
with his foot and return it. It just could not go onto the other side of the table. Lovely
Point.
return from Jabliso with his head. Beautiful, beautiful return.
For service. Serve.
Let's look at that return from Jabliso. Beautiful
fault.
return.
Second attempt.
Rio just could not get there
Serve.
in time to actually control that one. Jabliso serving with his head. Score is at 10-4. Rio leading
Point.
the set, and
And
he gets a point. That score is at 11-4. Rio needing just one more point to win this
service.
set.
Serve.
Jabliso serving.
Service fault.
Misses.
Out.
That
Second
serve.
attempt.
He has a second attempt.
Serve.
He serves with his head. Rio returning with his right foot. Now with his head. Jabliso with his right foot. And
Point.
that wins.
Game.
And that right foot return just could not
It's on the
get
tie.
onto Rio's side of the table. And that gives Rio the first set win. The score was at
1 minute
12-4,
begins now.
if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the score is at 12. Let's look at that return from Jabliso with his right foot that just could not get onto the table, but a beautiful attempt from him, of course. There you can see Rio having a mental conversation with himself, probably telling himself that he's doing good, I'm assuming. The score is at 12-4. Rio won this first set. We will wait for the second set. There is Rio in the lime stripes. There's Jabliso in the gray stripes. He has a lot of work to do if he wants to get
20
through
seconds remaining.
onto the finals in the second set. He must win the second set. Of course, if he wins it, we go on to the third set. Of course, Rio has got not that much of a job to do, but he does have a lot of work to do as well, but not that much. We are just about to begin the second set. This is round 4. We are in the singles event today. at Olymp Africa and the Eswatini National
The
Challenge
service.
Series. This is the second semi-final
Serve.
between Jabuliso Simelane and Rio Matsenjwa. Jabuliso serving.
Service fault.
It misses
Out.
the table. He has a second attempt.
Second attempt. Serve.
He serves with his head. It hits the table. Rio returning with his right foot. Jabuliso with his head. Rio with his head. Jabuliso with his right foot. Rio with his right foot. Oh,
Point.
Jabuliso, beautiful, beautiful return with his head. And that is a point for him. The score is at 1-0.
The service. Serve.
Jabuliso serves.
Point.
That was a lovely control attempt from Rio, but just could not
service.
work well for him. Score is at
Serve.
2-0. Jabuliso leading this set. Jabuliso serves. It hits
Service
the net.
fault. Let's serve.
Let's look at his second
Second
attempt.
attempt.
Let's see
Serve.
if it'll hit Rio's side of the table, and it does beautifully. Rio returns it with his head. Jabuliso with his head. Rio with his right foot. Jabuliso with his right foot.
Fault.
And that
Repeated
is
return.
a repeated
Point.
return from Rio with his
Ball,
right
please.
foot. That is a point to Jabuliso. Score is at 3-0.
The service.
It's amazing how the second set is picking up with
Serve.
Jabuliso taking these points. Score is at 3-0. Let's see if he'll take this
Service
fourth
fault.
point
Let's serve.
for himself with his serves. He has a second attempt. That was a
Second
fault.
attempt. Serve.
He serves with his head. And it hits the table. Rio returns it with his head.
Point.
It hits the net. Unfortunately,
Change
it
of
doesn't
service.
hit Jabuliso's side of the table. And that is a point to Jabuliso.
The
Score is
service.
at 4-0. We change service. Rio to serve.
Serve.
And he serves with
Service
his head.
fault. Out.
It does not hit the table.
Second
He
attempt.
has a second attempt.
Serve.
He serves again with his head. It hits the table. Jabuliso with a return with his right foot. Rio with his right foot. Now with his head. Jabuliso with his right foot. Rio with his right knee.
Point.
Jabuliso attempting his right knee.
The service.
And that's a point to Rio. Score
Serve.
is at 4-1. Rio serving with his head. Jabuliso returning with the head. Rio returning with his head. Ooh,
Point.
that's a point to Jabuliso. The ball hit the net and bounced twice
service.
on the table. Of course, that will be his point.
Serve.
Rio serving. Score is at
Service
5-1.
fault. Out.
Jabuliso looking
Second
good
attempt.
in the second set.
Serve.
Leading the set 5-1. Rio's second attempt hits the table. Jabuliso returns it with his right foot. Rio returns it with his right foot. Jabuliso with his head. Rio with his head. Jabuliso with his right foot. Rio with his right foot. Oh,
Point.
hard luck from Jabuliso there. Beautiful rally
The
that
service.
was. He's trying to return it. Tried to return
Serve.
with his head, but just could not get it onto the other side of the table. He returns again with his head from Rio's serve. Rio with his right foot. Jabuliso with his right foot. Rio with his head. Jabuliso with his head. Rio with his right foot. Jabuliso with his right foot. Oh, hard luck for Rio there.
H4.
His
right.
right knee return
The
just
service.
could not hit the table.
Serve.
Jabuliso looking surprised by something there. Let's take a look what surprised him. There's Rio returning it with his right knee. I think ref called an edge ball there. I think he called an edge ball, but his assistant probably saw something else. Let's see them actually speaking about that. Jabuliso actually picking up his game on the second set. The score is at 5-2. Like I had said before the beginning of the set, he has a lot of work that he needed to do, and he needs to do actually in the second set, just to win the set, so they go on to the third set. Let's see what the ref has
Ball, please.
decided.
Oh. It's a point.
And the ref
Side ball.
awards a point to Njabuliso Simelane,
service.
and that brings the score to
Oh, change the
6-2.
service. Sorry,
We
the service.
change
The
service.
service.
It's Njabuliso serve. He serves with his head, and it gets onto the table. Beautiful serve from Njabuliso. Oh, and that is an edge ball. Ref calls
Point.
a point
ball.
actually. Ref
service.
calls a point, and it's a point to Rio. The score is at
Serve.
6-3. Njabuliso serves with his head.
Point.
Rio trying to control that, but was just not able to control that.
service.
The score is at 7-3.
Serve.
Njabuliso serving with his head, and he misses
Service ball.
the table.
Out. Second attempt.
Let's see what he
Serve.
does with his second attempt. It hits the table. Rio returns it with his head. And Rio returning it with his right
Point.
foot. That's a point to Rio, of course. Score is at 7-4.
Service.
Anything can happen.
Serve.
Rio could actually, let's see with his return there. That's his point there, and you can see his fist pump, happy with himself.
Point.
Oh, Njabuliso, that was a beautiful
Change the service.
smash. Beautiful smash from Njabuliso. That brings
The
the score
service.
to 8-4.
Serve.
Rio serving. Sorry, the score is at 7-5. Rio serves with his knee,
Point.
attempting to actually return with his leg, but the
The
ball was
service.
just a little far for him.
Serve.
And I'm thinking he touched the table there.
Service fault. Let's serve.
He serves with his head, and unfortunately it hits the net. Score is at 8-5. Njabuliso
Second
leading
attempt.
this second set.
Serve.
Rio serving with his head. It hits the net. It hits the table. Beautiful return
Point.
from Njabuliso. Unfortunately, just could not find the
The
table
service.
there.
Serve.
Rio serves. Score is
Service
at
fault.
8-6.
Out.
Let's look
Second
at that
attempt.
return from Njabuliso with his right foot. Just
Serve.
could not find the table. Rio serves. Njabuliso returns with his head. He returns with his right foot. Rio returns with his head. Ooh, lovely return from Njabuliso. Rio with his right leg. Sorry, right foot. Returns with his head. Njabuliso with his right foot.
Point.
Rio attempting a lovely return there, but it didn't work well for him.
The
Score is
service.
at 9-6. Njabuliso leading